The child, trapped in their room all night to fend off the monsters. Don't forget to check behind you. So first up is the shirt. This is probably the easiest part of the entire costume. What you need is some silver fabric paint. You need a black shirt. I got this at AC Moore. And you are also going to need an assortment of paint brushes. And basically I use this piece of paper and I put it in between the shirt so that the paint would not leak through the shirt and stick to the other side. Once you have your paper in there, take your shirt and take your silver paint and just paint a stripe across the front. It's very easy. And here I am just going over it twice so that it is brighter. And I also took a smaller brush and fixed some of the details to make the edges of the stripe neater. And then you are going to do this again with a second stripe across the bottom. Repeat all the steps, go over it twice, and just make the edges neater using a smaller brush. And then you should have something that looks like this. And then next you are going to, once the front is dry, flip it over and do the same thing on the back. What you're going to do is you're going to flip it over just a little so you can see the front and line up the stripes on both sides so you know where the stripes were, and these stripes will look similar on the back as they were on the front. And then just connect the two sides together using your paint, and just do this for both stripes. I would recommend putting down a piece of paper so that your paint on the sides of the shirt does not stick to the floor. And then once you are done with that, you will have your t-shirt. And next we are going to start on the makeup. The makeup is fairly simple. What you are going to do is you are going to start off with a clean face. Take some pink face paint and just put it under your eyes and blend it outwards and add as much as you need, and it's going to give the effect like you were crying. And then this part is optional. I took some black face paint and put it on my eyelids. I later took this off because it didn't look right, because the child does have black eyes. And then I took this blue face paint and I put 2 lines down my face for each line, just kind of outlined the tear, and then I colored it in like so. And when I was finished, when I was recording this, it did look a little messy because I couldn't properly see because I had my glasses on here, but I couldn't properly paint it on with my glasses, and I couldn't properly paint it on without them because I couldn't see them. So after this part was done, I repainted all of the parts of the face, and I took off the black eyeshadow. Eye paint for that, but I still kept the pink stuff. So basically what you're going to see here in a bit is the actual finished one, not this, because this part looked fine on its own, but I just didn't like how it looked. So that's the finished makeup. And then now we are going to go look at how I made Fredbear. And Fredbear is probably the hardest part about this costume. You're going to need a pair of scissors, assorted Sharpies, this white paint, this roll-on glue stick thing that I can never remember the name of to save my life, some tape, and of course some purple paint. And obviously don't forget your golden bear. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to just draw Fredbear's smile across his face. I just took a Sharpie and did this really quickly. I would recommend looking at a picture for reference so you can make the smile as big as you want. Next, I cut off the little bow that was on the front of him because it was made out of a material that I couldn't color in. And next, I worked on the hat. So I took a piece of paper and I cut a circle into it, and I basically just I kept cutting it down until it was a size that I wanted, because this is going to be the rim around your hat. I just continuously cut it down until it was the size I wanted. Then I took another piece of paper and I wrapped it around the hat to see how much space I would need to actually make the hat rounded on the top, and then I just continuously trimmed down the piece of paper until it was the height I wanted. I trimmed it down quite a few times. I would recommend leaving more than you think you need, because you can always cut off more, but you cannot add on more. So once you are done that, take your gluey rolly thing and just roll on some glue and stick it together. And I also used a little bit of tape on this for extra security. And then you should have something that looks like this. Then I traced the circle I had made on an extra piece of paper that I had left over, and this is going to be the top of your hat, and I just cut it out, so I got that. And I just using tape, I just taped it on to the top of the hat. And when you're done, you should have something that looks like this. Next, grab a hot glue gun and just hot glue the portion of the hat that sticks up onto the rim of the hat, so that you get like the best stickability. I don't know the word for that. And you should have a hat that looks like this. Next, we are going to take another piece of paper and we are going to draw the bow onto it. Now, you can make the bow however big you like, and I just added some little extra details, and you should have something that looks like that. Then I just cut out the bow, and I measured where I wanted it to go on him, and I added a dab of hot glue onto the center where I wanted it to go, and just gently pressed the bow onto the hot glue. And be careful with this because you can burn your hands. Then I took 2 buttons, black buttons, and measured them where I wanted them to go on the bear, and I just again stuck a gob of hot glue and pressed down the buttons gently. And then I accidentally lost the footage for the rest of the bear, so all you're going to do is hot glue the hat on top of him, and you're going to take 2 more buttons and put dots of white paint on them and glue them on for the eyes. And then you will have yourself a little Fredbear. I think he turned out cute. The other things you'll need for this costume is just a pair of capris. I had these forever, and I also wore some Converse, and there you have it. You are now transformed into the crying child from FNAF 4. This was a really fun costume to make. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and send me pictures if you do this yourself. Yeah, I think that's all I had to say. Stay strong, I'm gone. Bye, all my chocolate chips.